There are moments in life that quietly change everything. Not the loud ones, not the milestones the world applauds, but the quiet ones. In a hospital room, beside a bed, in the middle of a career that was just beginning to bloom. For Lauren Daigle, one of the most gifted voices of her generation, that moment came at the exact intersection of her greatest opportunity and her greatest loss. Most people knew Lauren for the voice, that raw, aching, unmistakable sound that seemed to carry something heavier than talent, something earned. But behind the music was a story of a phone call, a flight home, a grandfather, and a faith that had to be rebuilt from the ground up. This is that story.
I grew up with him. We were best friends. We called each other partner in crime because at night we'd all go out. Hey, Paul, you want to go get some ice cream? Let's go run and get frozen yogurt. And we all leave, and my grandmother would be like, what did y'all go do tonight? I know sweets were involved, you know. So we called each other the partner in crime. He was just my very best friend, and I lived with him while I went to LSU. And we were really, really close. And he was my number one supporter. I mean, he just, anytime people would come over to the house, he'd say, hey, Lauren. And I'd say, yeah, what's going on? He'd say, come sing Adele for them in the kitchen right now. And so I would be like, oh gosh, here we go again. And I would go in there and he would pull it out of me. You know, he'd say, come on, Lauren, don't be shy. Share your gifts. This is what the Lord gave you. Come on, sing to these people. And he knew the place of joy that, it was coming from in me, and he knew that would fall on the hearts of the people involved in listening and everything. In the process of his support, I left LSU, moved to Nashville, and started writing, and 5 months later found out that he was diagnosed with cancer. And it was definitely a journey where I had to choose, am I gonna pursue the career, am I gonna pursue the dream, or am I gonna take these moments with my grandfather really dear. One night, I just decided, I know that people will support me in this. I'm gonna go home. And I just bought a plane ticket and flew home. And he passed away a week later. And we were actually, in that week, we were supposed to record the record. And so I was like, I just know it. Like the Lord kind of put the pressure on my spirit to go back home. And so I had to put the record on hold, and everybody's timelines had to shift, and that was a lot of pressure involved, you know? But I just knew, all right, I'm gonna go home, and the Lord's gonna do a mighty work. And he did. He showed up so prevalently in that room, in that moment where it was really difficult. And I mean, he was my best friend, and I had never experienced loss before. So in the room, you know, my grandfather was laying there and he was passing away, but he was telling us, oh, I see Jesus. Oh, I see him. He's right over there, you know, and, you know, he saw his daughter that had passed away years before him, and he's like calling out their names while he's passing over. And God made death so real, but so beautiful in that time. He entered the room with a peace like I've never felt before, with a closeness like I've never felt before. I felt like in the midst of this great sorrow, there was so much joy because I could see the process of my grandfather entering into the gates, entering into the streets of gold. So it made the hope so much more real, because I was like, you know, I could mourn and go into this place of deep, deep, deep depression, because he was really close to me. Or I could say, Lord, thank you for the years that you allowed me to have with him. And in my thanks, I'm gonna be so grateful for the fact that he's in your presence. There's no pain, there's no sorrow, there's nothing that he's experiencing. And he passed away right before the record was released, right before the very first song went out on the radio, like 3 days before. And, you know, I could look at those moments and say, God, why didn't you just let him last a little bit longer, so that the thing that he had built up in his heart all of these years in supporting me, that he could see this come to fruition? Well, why did he have to pass right before? But I truly believe that God has a purpose for everything. And he knew Lauren, this is going to be a place of loss here on earth, but it's going to be such heavenly gain for you on earth. Now, I'm not afraid of death. There's not a piece of me that's like, oh, death, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm ready. Like, let's go. It's going to be the most beautiful thing. We're going to be in the presence of God. We're going to be in the presence of loved ones. And it's going to be so beautiful. And he let me experience a little taste of that here on earth. Like, what a treasure. What a gift, you know? And so in that place, though, he said, you know, you can either look at this with incredible sorrow, or you can take this and leverage it into your next season of life. So although we pushed back the record, we started recording a month or two later, and that's where the songs came, in that month or two, where I was, all right, Lord, I'm gonna go into that closet with you, and I'm gonna petition the cries of my heart. All right, Lord, can you just please make all of this work for your good? And that's what he says in Romans 8:28, that he will work all things out for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. And that was just another moment in life where he was like, all right, I'm gonna use this. And that's where the song Trust in You came. I was really, you know, needing some clarity. All right, Lord, I'm not gonna be angry, I'm not gonna be upset, because I know that your thoughts are higher, your ways are higher, you're so much greater, you're seeing way more than I am in the midst of all of this. And he saw all of the stories that were going to come out. He saw all the hearts that were going to be touched through my grandfather's legacy and what I did with his stories that he told me, and how I transferred those into songs. And then now the hearts of all of these people are being intersected with the glory of God, and they're taking on this new place of hope.
I will trust in you.
Maybe that's the lesson this story leaves behind. The most important moments in life rarely announce themselves. They come as interruptions. Lauren Daigle's grandfather never saw the awards or the sold-out arenas, but his influence lives on in every song she sings. That's what real legacy sounds like. Not fame, not trophies, but a voice that keeps going through grief, faith, and time. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs it, and tell us in the comments, who believed in you before anyone else did? Be sure to check out the channel for more inspiring stories. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe so you never miss the next one. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when a new story goes live. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.